Good afternoon. Welcome to the Committee on Public Finance. Welcome to the Committee on Public Finance. Generally, there is a dress code, Dr. Subasinghe. I know you don't wear a tie. I know you have one tie, but there is a general. I just want to let you know, right? Could you introduce yourselves for the record, please?
All right. So myself.
Yeah, others in the front row have already done.
I'm actually Harsha. I'm a committee member of the Port City.
Revan Vikramasuriya, Director General, Port City Economic Commission.
Sanjay Kulatunga, Commission Member.
Ruwan Karnaratna, Director Finance, Port City Commission.
Tilagarakna, Director Engineering, Port City Economic Commission.
Radhika Obesekara, Director Commercial at the Commission.
Amasara Gajatira, State Counsel from the Attorney General's Department.
Gangan Hewavitana, Assistant Legal Draftsman Department.
Subhani Kirtiratna, Director Financial Intelligence Unit, Central Bank of Sri Lanka.
I'm Rukshana Jayathilaka, Director of Bank Supervision from the Central Bank.
Enoka Mohotti, Assistant Governor, Central Bank.
There is who is presenting the documentation? Gazette, right?
Honorable Chairman, today we have presented the amendment to the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act. The few amendments are there. Main objective is to align the incentives with international best practices, and there is an IMF commitment as a structural benchmark to amend the incentive structure. So we have submitted previously, we got approval to the incentive regime, and here the amendment to the Port City Economic Commission Act. So basically we have few amendments. One is to
Mrs. Pereira, they have sent a presentation.
yeah, we have that. We can present it if you need.
Might as well, no?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chair and MPs. I'm Tharaka Jayasundara, and I'll be presenting on behalf of the Department of Fiscal Policy. Like our tax advisor, Mr. Tanuja was saying, today we are talking about the amendments we have introduced to the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act, number 11 of 2021. So we have started off with a little background. So the key point here is that we have had several IMF technical assistance missions looking into tax exemptions that were granted in Sri Lanka, including the STB projects and the Port City flagship project. And they have identified that some of the tax incentives that were granted were excessively generous, and that there were weak compliance obligations arising due to most of these exemptions that were granted. And as Mrs. Tanuja was saying, that under the IMF VFF program, Sri Lanka had a commitment, structural benchmark to introduce amendments to the Colombo Port City Act by end November 2025. So the bill today we have the bill we have submitted for the committee today is because of that, the amendments we have introduced to meet that structural benchmark. So moving forward, the main objectives of the amendment, number one is to align the incentives with international best practices and the IMF commitments, and then strengthen fiscal oversight, transparency and accountability, and ensuring tax equity and removing preferential treatment and so on and so forth. So if I move on to the actual amendments, first of all, here we have presented the changes that we have done to the payment of application fees and charges. Specifically, like fees such as land use fees, applicants will not be required to pay fees such fees other than the non-refundable application fee, any other fee, they will not be obliged to pay that until they have been issued a license or a certificate of registration. So the intention of these this change is actually to reduce the to reduce the upfront cost burden on any potential investors, and two, to eliminate the creation of an obligation on the commission that they have paid some fee upfront.
So how much is that fee?
The application fee,
Yeah?
non-refundable, it's 10,000 USD. Yeah, it's 10,000 US dollars. Yeah.
And what is it in the region?
Sorry.
Is it comparative? Is 10,000 high, low, or is it?
Taraka, may I? Yeah, the $10,000 fee is not a new fee. It's been there for some time, and that's when we benchmarked other zones, we are sort of aligned. You have anywhere between, if you look at the Middle East, again, it's about 10,000 to 15,000, and then the structures of fees vary. But we've had this fee for possibly going up to 2 years, and that's been accepted by all applicants.
So yeah, moving on. So apart from that fee, the other fees will.
So you are removing other fees, right?
No, not removing, Honorable Chair. We are like the payment will have. They can make the payment. They will only be obliged to make the payment after they are issued a certificate of registration or the license to carry out.
So there is a
this.
license fee and a non-refundable fee.
Yeah, that will have to be paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is the administrative fees. Those will have to be paid, but other than that, like land use fees, those will have to be paid after that. After they are
But then
sure
anyway,
that a license will be issued.
you can't pay those unless you have a license to operate, no?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So we want to.
What was it
Earlier
then?
there was, sometimes
What is the change?
change is that it will. No, they could pay, but now we have made it like we have written it, spelled it out in the Act that they can pay it only after they have been issued a certificate.
So they're not earlier. The difference is like you used to take earlier. Now after approval only that you are taking the fee. That's only difference.
Yeah. So earlier, if they chose, they could have paid it upfront.
So that also gives a commitment to our side, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
this is like paying lease in advance and holding on to the land.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So, Chair, that's normal in these deals because if there's a possibility, they just pay upfront, so they give the additional liability to the committee to approve.
Yeah, because we have already paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
As agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving on, the tax treatment of employees. So the employment income tax exemption, we have limited it from this Act amendment for 3 years for existing authorized personnel. So within the port city, I'm sure the committee is aware that only APs, authorized persons, can engage in business activities. So there was a tax exemption, income tax exemption that were granted to those APs. So that will for the existing ones, it will going forward, it will be limited to 3 years. Commencing from 1 month from the date of passing of the law of the Act, and for any new new applicants, this exemption will no longer be there.
That is the payee tax.
Pay, yes.
So let me get it right. So now existing employees of existing companies
APs, yeah.
will not pay payee tax for the next 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Non-existing employees of existing companies or new employees of existing companies will have to pay.
No.
Huh? How's that?
What says if there is a new company that has been registered now onwards,
Yes.
they don't get the income tax.
That is
exemption.
understood.
So anything that has been already existing, they get another 3 years tax exemption from the day this particular amendment goes into.
So if you are giving, so I am looking for a job. I have 2 companies, right? I'm eligible to be recruited by both companies. But in one company I don't have to pay tax. In the other company I have to pay tax.
True.
So is that equitable within the same zone? Why don't you give the other people also 3 years exemption.
So the fundamentally it was original draft that was done long time ago, it was 10 years exemption. So because there was a reason that we want to bring the high end caliber people into this country. Right? So there is no way, if you go to Dubai, if you go to Portugal, if you go to all these countries that are emerging, they all give that particular exemption. Because of that reason, most of the big brains, they are actually moving to the countries like most of the UK, British, they have actually gone to Middle East because they are tax free. So because of that reason, their countries are booming. So now if I have to come to Sri Lanka and work for a company, why would I come to Sri Lanka and work for a company and pay 38% from the day one? Because my salary is going to be at least about
Harsha,
200,000.
does the Commission agree with this bill or not?
Sorry?
Does the Commission presenting this so? Does the Commission
No, this is what happened from the Finance Ministry has given the Commission this particular draft of the amendment.
So you don't agree as a Commission?
I personally, as a Commission member, I
So
don't agree.
we have to present as the Commission here?
So I've just told my opinion, but the Commission.
That I think you can't put your opinion unless Chairman asks or someone asks, because the Commission has to first present the bill and then we'll debate it out. I think it's not fair.
Well, I mean, Harsha, Dr. Harsha Subasinghe was one of the members of the original steering committee which I chaired, which this whole, I was given the ball suddenly in 2018. Here there is something, try to do something with it. And we debated for days, and we had 12 solicitors, the Aegis department, and 12 private sector people like Dr. Harsha Subasinghe, who's built a very, very, sort of solid software company in Sri Lanka, operating globally. So all these ideas, Honorable Minister, were discussed, but then subsequently changed. So I think there is a certain frustration. Yeah, so this is, perhaps I understand there's a certain sense of frustration. I appreciate what you're saying, but like the Minister is saying, there has to be one voice when you're presenting this. Because if you're giving this thing to us, what are we going to do? Are we going to agree with this or are we not going to agree with this? I mean, we have the choice of doing either, right? Technically, not that we do. But I think there has to be a single voice, and that discussion should be had before you come to Parliament and agree with the Ministry of Finance, well, this is what we can do and this is what we can't do.
Yeah. Chairman, just Commission Member Sanjay Kulatunga, this, as you rightly pointed out, have been debated by the Commission. And as you know, the previous tax regime was different to what it is now. We have discussed with the IMF and come up with this proposal and what it is now. If you look at it, your question was, is it equitable? It is not, but at a certain point you had to take a clear decision on stopping it. So giving certain exemptions that were there, that was not possible going forward, given the IMF regulations and what the Commission thought what was fair.
Dr. Kulatunga, there is another issue. One is there is an inequity between this side of Galle Road and that side of Galle Road. We have been debating that there is a distortion in the market. We have to fix it at some point in time.
So, Chairman, that's why this was stopped. That's why.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that is one inequity. The other inequity is what we are just hearing now, is that within that, right, within the port city, there is again an inequity that you are building. Because some companies don't have to pay taxes for their employees, other companies do. So that is my question to you, both as the Commission and as the Ministry of Finance.
Just to clarify on what Chairman is asking. So if the existing company, existing employees, fair to get 3 years because that is how they join the organization and from their perspective. But the existing company hiring a new person, would they get 3 years?
Yes, because this exemption is given for the APs who have been approved. Like the undertaking was given by the at that time, because the law says that they are exempted. not for a particular time period, but they are exempted. Their employees are exempted. So now going forward, once this act is amended, the provision is very clear. They are not exempt. Exemption is no more there. But they have the APs have been invested. They have invested in this area. To thinking that they are exempted under this particular provision. So that's why the 3 years period is given for them. As the Honorable Chair correctly pointed out, earlier debate was that the people who are within the port city is exempt, whereas the people who are outside the port are not exempted. So that debate was there.
So now it is three-way, yeah?
Now, yes.
Now the equity has got further complicated. But now what is the 15%? Now is it 36%? Or is it 15%? Because if you export software, it is only 15%.
Yeah, that is two different things. One is if the AP is engaged in the business of exporting software, then their income will be liable at 15%.
So, but
maximum.
then, Mrs. Pereira, you can only do offshore business at the port city.
Yes, now the business and the employees are two different segments. Like the businesses get the tax concessionary rate, but the employees, they are not providing services to offshore people because they are providing services to their employers. So when it comes to the employment income, there is a difficulty of.
Okay, let's say another company.
Yeah.
Let's say just company X on Gaul Road on this side in Kolpiti. They are exporting software.
Okay.
Right? They pay
15%.
15% tax.
As a company.
As an employee, they pay 36%.
Exactly, yes.
Same. Okay.
So the next amendment we have introduced is we have introduced provisions for foreign exchange for the conversion of Sri Lankan rupees into a designated foreign currency. It will be governed by the Foreign Exchange Act number 12 of 2017. This conversion of Sri Lankan rupees, this was already there in the Principal Act section 36, where an AP can accept payments in Sri Lankan rupees. So any Sri Lankan rupee thus accepted can be converted into a designated currency. Earlier it said as prescribed. Now this has been amended to be governed by the Foreign Exchange Act number 12 of 2017.
What is the, why is it important? What does it really mean?
No, earlier, Honorable Chair, it said as shall be prescribed. It was not earlier under Schedule 2 of the Principal Act, the Foreign Exchange Act number 12 of 2017 was exempted. So we have introduced. So
what does it do? What does it practically do? What will this law do?
So it'll, it'll ensure consistency with the foreign exchange regulations we have in place in Sri Lanka, with the central bank directives and so on.
Yeah, the central bank is here. How does this change whatever is happening today? I FIU, that she's a FIU. I don't know whether it. Yeah. Where is the mic? Hello? While because it has to be recorded, that's why we need the mic. But in the meantime, if you work for a Dubai company, right, and you export software to a company that is registered in Dubai, you pay 15% tax. Huh? But if the company is registered in Port City, you pay 36% tax.
Employee pay.
Employee, a person.
Dubai company, I have a Dubai company,
Yeah.
I export to anywhere, I
Yeah.
pay 0% tax.
No, what I'm saying is the employee.
Employee pays 0%.
Dr. Subasinghe, the employee is in
0%
Ratmalana.
0% tax. In Dubai company, everybody, their income is 0% tax.
No. So what I'm saying is, let's say there is a person in Ratmalana who is writing code for a Dubai company, okay? That person is a, say, consultant and that's 15%. That's my say. Right, that's 15%. But if that person is doing the same exact job, but providing that service to a Port City company, he has to end up paying, or she has to end up paying 36%.
Not even Port City, any IT company.
Any IT company. So the thing is, why we created Port City was to be different. Why we created Port City was to create a niche and to create something slightly different so that there can be a greater attraction to set up at Port City.
Harsha, when you say
Then the equitable problem will come.
I know.
Harsha,
Sustain IT industry outside as well.
Harsha, when you said
I know, there's
Dubai
some
is
other
zero,
discussion.
sorry,
please.
Harsha, when you say Dubai is zero, is it from OECD from 2026 April? They come on to the minimum slab of 9%, no?
9%
For
only the
corporate,
corporate tax.
corporate. While the
There's
individuals,
no zero
individuals
tax for
remain at zero.
Zero personal tax, zero dividend tax, all the other taxes are zero, just total 9% that you pay.
So you being
And
a
also foreign earnings, every single thing is tax exempted.
yeah, so that's global earnings except in Dubai itself, all those. That's whether it's Singapore or Thailand or
That's why
Bahrain or all
every
of
one
this,
of them
all of
is
the
actually
same.
moving to Dubai.
So on this score, being a entrepreneur as well as being a commission member like your other members are, what is your unique selling proposition from a port commission point of view in Sri Lanka?
So shall we, honorable member, I want to ask that question, but shall we suspend that question until we finish because that's a general question, no?
Changes.
Yeah?
But it is, it is relevant here because
Then
otherwise
there may be other issues also that are relevant to answer your question, if you don't mind. Yes.
Yeah, so moving on, then we have some amendments to the offshore banking provision.
No, we
eight.
were seeking a response from the central bank. No, what the difference is between now and after this comes in.
Honorable Chair, we can get back to you if you can give us some time because there isn't a representation from the Foreign Exchange Department here. We can get back to you.
Should have, I mean, Commission doesn't know why you're bringing this?
Chairman, to speak?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so
DG.
as Ms. Taraka mentioned, provision 36, right? The provision read as designated foreign currency in such manner and subject to such conditions as shall be prescribed, and the provision ended there. The expectation, I believe, under the Act at that time is where either the Commission prescribes a process for converting these rupees into foreign currency. So what the Central Bank, the Ministry of Finance and the Commission, having deliberated this further, understanding the fact that if any business in Sri Lanka, if they sell to Sri Lankans and generate rupees, or provide services and generate rupees, the conversion of those rupees into foreign currency should be, to use your words, on an equitable basis. Hence, to remove any misunderstanding or any lack of clarity, I believe the Finance Ministry, together with the stakeholders, thought it's best to bring in the words as may be prescribed under the provisions of the FEA.
So what you're saying, DG, is that this is like your McDonald's inside the bar, or the Japanese place or something, where you sell to locals and you collect LKR.
Any business within the port city that provides services or goods and collects rupees, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is from a foreign exchange point of view, but when it comes to domestic taxation point of view, how do you give that benefit? So if you're having one in there and you're on this side, say Kingsbury on this side and in there, what are the two tax policies there?
Provision 37, that's Ms. Taraka referred to provision 37.1, but if you go on to 37.3, 37.3 actually clearly mentions a fact, and that's not an amendment, that's already in the principal enactment. It clearly states that any such business is not going to benefit from any incentives or exemptions granted under the enactment.
Yeah, same thing.
Chairman, I want to answer the Honorable Minister's question.
Can we?
One of the things is that because if you are going to add anything, because we received this in somewhere in December, so this was not going to the council to go there and even discuss as yet. But you called for this particular meeting, we came. So if you are asking whether there's a cumulative understanding of what we agree or not agree, we haven't discussed about this thing. Because you asked us to come 2 days before, just to come into this one. With all due respect, we came here. And that particular time, we have not even discuss about it at the commission. So if you don't want our opinion, we have to go back to the commission and get all the opinion and come back. We will come back again. So we also are working for this government free of charge, and we expect that respect to be there as well. Because we don't,
let me clarify.
Going to be heard.
Mr. Subas, Dr. Subas, let me clarify. The government told us that they want to approve this tomorrow in Parliament. Is that correct? The government leader of the House sent us a note requesting us to have this meeting today. Normally, we also require a couple of weeks' notice to go through this. But just one moment, Honorable Minister. So therefore, this requirement for you all to come, Dr. Subasing and the rest of the commission, is based on a request by the government. It has nothing to do with me. I mean, I didn't ask you to come because I wanted for you all to come today specifically. It is, as the chair of the committee, this has to pass this committee before it goes to debate tomorrow. If we say we are not willing to approve this, then there is another,
While talking that, then we must, as a committee, realize that this must become fulfilled here, not to be coming half-baked here. The government says that they must come with full authority. Otherwise, we are wasting our time. As he says, a professional coming there is giving opinion. But if he's not already had a commission meeting, what are we
that's a
examining
serious
for?
matter. I mean,
we have a commission meeting every month.
Yeah.
So this came.
So Kapil,
Our commission meeting is yet to come.
So
we can't give you a collective answer on this one because we haven't had the commission meeting. So only we can ask on our personal opinion. If our personal opinion is not valid, then
I want to answer
that you can talk whatever you want and we shut up and we go.
No, wait. The chairman of the commission, Mr. Harsha Amarasekara, called me and said he was overseas and he was unable to come. I forgot to mention that here. It was a lapse on my part. I forgot.
Now,
ideally, the chairman should have made a decision on behalf of the commission. How many commission members are here?
2.
Dr. Kulatunga is here. Dr. Subasinghe is here.
There are 7, no?
How many commission members are there?
There are 6 commission members, Chairman, and 4 had shared excusers, and they've unable.
I haven't got letters. Where are those letters?
The letters were sent on.
Where are those letters? I mean, this can't continue. No, I mean, the chairman actually did call. It was a lapse on my part. I forgot to let you know that he was overseas. But we haven't got a single letter from a commission member. Who sent the letters, DG?
I'm just looking at it. Our secretary Felicia sent a letter notifying. Sorry. Our commission secretary Ms. Felicia sent a letter notifying that the 4 members and their names were given, that they are unable to attend and they are unable to reschedule, and the names of the people who are attending.
DG, what are their names, please?
Sorry?
What are their names?
You can't do this.
That's Harsha Amarasekara, Amal
Harsha Amarasekara did.
Harsha Amarasekara, Amal Cabral, Parakrama Disanaik, and Ray Abeywadana.
We haven't received a letter.
You have sent the letter on the 2nd.
See,
Day 6.
Yeah, we have been informed on the 2nd, Dr. Subasinghe. On that date, our office should have informed you. They would have asked me, and I would have said yes, let's do it, and then they would have informed you. So if you haven't had a commission meeting to discuss this.
Yeah, I think I beg to differ with Dr. Subasinghe on this. We have debated this. We have had deliberations on this and come to this view. So I think Dr. Subasinghe hasn't been on some of the meetings, so probably he's not clear on some of it.
Mr. Chairman, so may I just speak from the Ministry of Finance?
Yes, just 1 minute, Dr. Senanayaka. Have we got the letter? DG, there is only one letter that we have sent, and we have unfortunately not regrettably received your letter. So did you send, Mr. Vikramasuri, did you send it to the Secretary Treasury or to us? Because you normally send to Secretary Treasury.
Yeah, would have gone to the Secretary to Treasury, and that's, I'm just trying to find the letter to see whether Parliament, the additional information you all requested for from the Secretariat, I sent directly to the Secretariat last evening. Ms. Lanka can confirm that, and that I personally oversaw. The members who are attending, I'm trying to find that email. It most likely went to the Finance Ministry, because the Finance Ministry notifies us of the meeting.
Huh? Okay, this is the letter, commission members signed by the Secretary of the Committee, Mr. Kamal Udapola. It says in, underscored and in bold letters, Chairman and at least 3 members of the Colombo Port City Commission. So Chairman had, told us that he was unavailable. There should have been at least, this Port City Commission should have been properly represented here. I can't take Dr. Kulatunga's word against Dr. Subasingha's word, because you are two differing views here. Or 2 people saying 2 different things. This is not how this country should be run. I mean, who's taking responsibility? You're both commission members.
Sorry, Chairman, that if you have a commission has a date to meet. Inside that particular date, we discuss it, and then we actually have the minutes of the particular meeting, and then based on the minutes of the meeting, we can say this is a cumulative understanding of what it has been done. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you can discuss about it, but it was not on the commission meeting that we have discussed. But the commission is actually meeting towards the end of this month. So we haven't got that collective thing to say that this is what it is.
Yeah, so then it is a responsibility of the Secretary of the Treasury that he should coordinate internally his department matters.
Oh, yeah. So
we are an oversight committee.
So all what I'm trying to say, all due respect, we also working for this free of charge for you guys, right? So
No, don't say from you guys. I mean, that's
Harsha, I think,
and we are actually working.
It's something that you need to debate out in the commission, no? I think.
Sorry?
Dr. Sen Naga, please, on behalf of the Secretary of Treasury.
Give me just a few seconds to explain what has, gone to this level, to this next. I think this has been discussed with all stakeholders, including Commission, Central Bank, also the internally at the Treasury as well. So as you, I think, clearly evidenced that last time, I think December 5th, Gazette has been passed by the Parliament with all these concessions. This is the Act Amendment. This covers all the institutional development and also the transparency and other issues. So I think from our perspective, this has been also gazetted in November 28th. So now today is January 6th. So far, I think we have already gone through. We have had a very close dialogue with the DG Commission as well as the chairperson as well. So I think in that sense, we have consulted all stakeholders. That's why we have also gazetted this in. And also, if there is any I think any disagreement or something, so they could have write to us earlier. So we haven't received any response after this has been gazetted. So I think
these are internal matters. Really, I'm not interested in. This is a parliamentary oversight committee, and the Parliament has full control over public finance. If you're going to give out taxes or take people's taxes away, we look at that and we either agree or not. Internal matters should be discussed before you come here. And I'm very disappointed that the 3 commission members have not sent us anything.
Chairman, I just like to say, on Kapila's point, we have been discussing this since June, July. I think what Dr. Subasingha is mentioning is this particular meeting notification happened quite fast. So I think that is what is talking about. But in terms of all these changing the and making the amendments and the taxes have been discussed for a period of time between all the stakeholders.
And DG, just to explain, I mean, when you went for pitching also for the last 3 to 4 months, which I was also part of, we used these structures as the future proposals, right? I think it's quite well understood and even publicly put out what the new tax structures and all that to be. So I mean, I didn't have any view that it was in disagreement with the Commission or Finance.
That's correct, Minister. And sorry, if I can.
Right. I think we will proceed. We will proceed.
One last comment, Chairman. I'm just looking at the mail from Miss Felicia at 11:15 a.m. on Monday. Miss Nadika Amaratunga, I believe she is in the Parliament, Parliamentary Affairs in Ministry of Finance or in Ministry of Finance is included. Then there is an email address legis.com@parliament.lk. Right? So Ms. Nadika was informed.
Who is the letter addressed to?
To the Ministry of Finance.
So where is that? She has to send it to us now? Okay. Somebody has to receive it
so
in our office?
maybe that's, yeah. And that letter clearly states the following officers are unable to attend due to their prior engagements which are regrettably unable to be rescheduled. Chairman Harsha Amarasekara, Commission members Parakrama Disanayaka, Amal Kabral and Ray Abewardena. The undermentioned officers will attend the meeting and their NIC numbers and vehicle numbers are given below. And the 2 commission members mentioned there are Sanjay Kulatung and Harsha Subasinghe and also the rest. So apologies on that.
Generally, if the Parliament is supreme, so if they have other engagements, then, if they can devote time, they should devote time. Right? They'll have to cancel other engagements and come to Parliament. But this is important. We haven't asked all members to come. We only asked 3 members to come, 4 actually. So I don't know, we'll let it go, but what I'm saying is as a practice, we must give that, offer that due respect to Parliament as an institution. They may have some engagement, some business meeting they have to attend to. But if you are taking on this responsibility as a commission member of the Colombo Port City, this is a very serious responsibility. Just want to remind that and get the Dr. Senag, it's your office that has obviously made the mistake of not sending it here. Whoever this Nadika lady is.
Not from our office, I think Ministry of the Parliament Affairs of the Minister of Finance.
Yes, so whatever it is, Minister of Finance, no, not Parliament.
Yes.
That's okay. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so moving forward, the next amendment done for the Port City Act is offshore banking. So Part 8 of the Colombo Port City Principal Act has been amended to make provisions for the central bank to carry out regulations and supervision of APs licensed to carry on offshore banking business in accordance with international standards. So in the new in this amendment bill, we have defined international standards to include Basel Convention, Basel Copf principles, and so on. So requirements on capital adequacy, liquidity, risk management, etc., will be maintained in line with directives issued by central bank.
Now, originally, was the central bank not the regulator?
No, there is a commitment. I mean, we have from our side to have these international best practices in line with the Basel III Convention. So, for that, central bank gave this amendment to incorporate in the this Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act. So there is a provision where the central bank as well as the commission is involved in regulating these things. I think the bank supervision department explained these requirements which we included upon their request to this particular act.
Approvals to an operating bank, no? So that means they are operating in a country that has already fulfilled those obligations.
Yes.
So why are you bringing those Basel things where you are approving a bank that is already functional in a particular country?
Yeah, that of course I think central bank supervision division is there. Here we have the three kind of amendments. One is to restrict these tax concessions. Second is to align the evaluation and the monetary and those aspects. Other than that, this offshore banking business related provisions.
Yeah, because all the theoretical gimmicks are there, but how long will it take to get a business coming and operate? All these are there. Now, you're asking us to give this approval. Now, the central bank, you have had 3-4 applications that have come. Have they given the approval to go forward?
Sorry, member, I didn't quite hear your question. Do you mind repeating the question, please?
There are, last time, I think when you came 3 weeks ago, we asked the question that there are banking licenses that have been given and the central bank had not given approval for them.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the situation? We are all theoretical things are being added onto central bank, but the functionality is not being approved.
Yeah, so that was, yes, there were, if I remember correctly, there were about 6 banks that had applied for a license to do offshore banking business under provision 27 of this act.
6 offshore and 2 within, I think HNB and 3 others.
They're all Sri Lankan banks licensed in Sri Lanka, all 6 of them. The first phase of, there's a process, I would say there's a 3-step process. The process is you first become an authorized person, following which the commission recommends to the ministry minister in charge of the port city in consultation with the Minister of Finance engages with the central bank and then reviews the licensing. In that process, the central bank had requested for further information from those banks, and those banks, I stand to be corrected, but they had not actually what I stated then was that they hadn't provided the additional information to the central bank to enable them to continue with the evaluation process. So that process was where it is.
So who does the matchmaking? Is it Port City with the enthusiasm and the zeal to get it moving, or the bank that runs after, or the central bank stands in the way?
I wouldn't say anybody stood in the way.
But now the banks told me they've taken 6 to 8 months.
So the banks haven't provided the information or the details that were requested for, and that's where the position
But
stood.
somebody needs to be with full of zeal getting it moving, no? Because those banks are saying they want to operate and they have not got the license. That's why I asked it last time.
I think there was certain...
no difference.
No, I hear you. So I think there were some challenges and they were also waiting for these changes to come through.
So what are those challenges where there are efficient banks outside the Gulf face on one side? So what is the difference between then to now?
Yes.
If they've got to pay the normal taxes, what's the differential that is there that doesn't get the approval to work in here?
Director Bank Supervision from the central bank. So the local banks can operate as branches in the port city, and anyway the branches can do offshore banking. So there is no impediment. It's just that they have to come and get approval to set up a branch in Port City now. I guess after the proposed amendments, it would be feasible for them to move with an approval from the central bank to set up a branch. That branch can conduct all activities that they are conducting elsewhere.
I would, for sake of enthusiasm, trying to sell this concept, you better speak to those banks, but they offer different opinion. They like to come and operate, and they seem to be having a lot of bureaucratic bungling that is going on. So I wouldn't want to mention the names. You all get it done as soon as possible. It's much more useful to get it effectively operational.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I think
break this impasse, you know.
We will engage with them immediately following today's meeting and provide all the necessary clarification that's required. Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so moving on, there's another provision aimed at regulating offshore banking. Again, this was also introduced at the request of Central Bank. So Minister of Finance may suspend, revoke or cancel licenses on the recommendation of Central Bank. Of course, prior to suspension, the licensee will be afforded the opportunity to defend themselves. And permitted activities specify permanent activities limited to foreign currency transactions with this new act will specify the business activities that may be carried out under offshore banking license.
Would you just mind just comparing between the outside and inside here? Once again, because if it's the same law, then what is the necessity to bring in here?
So for the banks which will come and set up in the Colombo Port City.
Could you mind speaking up to the mic, please?
The banks which will come from overseas, is it okay? Would have to set up as branches in the Colombo Port City with a license, and they'll be regulated and supervised by the central bank.
Yeah,
they will predominantly conduct business with non-residents in designated foreign currency. So that is given. And subject to conditions, they can also transact with authorized persons in the port city.
You can do it from Colpity also.
Yes, sir. But
the honourable member's question is, how is it different from the inside and outside?
All right. So if they're coming, I mean, we already have 30 banks, 11 foreign banks. The banking sector is quite saturated. These particular institutions will come and conduct offshore banking predominantly, and will not pose competition to our already saturated banking sector. So the activities that they would carry would be predominantly wholesale banking.
Well, okay. Not very enthusiastic.
Yeah,
okay,
so next we have introduced provisions to ensure audit and compliance requirements. Audits will have to be conducted by auditors approved by the central bank. Central bank will issue a list of qualified auditors via directive, and the companies can select an auditor from that list. And these audit reports will have to be submitted to central bank and shared with the commission as well. Then all APs will be mandatorily required to file tax returns under the Indian Revenue Act, irrespective of their tax liability. So that is to ensure compliance.
Just to check, like previously was this banks or whatever did not come under central bank, or how, why is it like a new thing?
So what the act said was that the supervision would be done by
I think it just makes it very specific, Honourable Minister.
Early it was coming under central bank, but nothing was told in detail.
That's right. That's right. This is very specific. Yeah.
It was not actually coming under the central bank. It said competent authority, and only through the regulations. But now we are bringing the provisions to the act.
Is it stronger then?
It is stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, so moving on, there's monitoring, evaluation and enforcement.
Don't strangle them. Strong is good, but strangling is bad.
Strangulating not giving you birth at all.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so then there's ex post monitoring of performance against key indicators like KPIs. The Commission will conduct ex post monitoring from time to time as it deems appropriate, so that discussion is with the Commission. And the Commission will have the power, upon these evaluations, the Commission will have the power to restrict, suspend or revoke incentives in case of non-compliance.
Now, on this non-compliance, I'm just, press release I have from the central bank from about 2 weeks ago. Penalties imposed on 3 or 4 companies, banks, financial institutions for non-compliance. 2 million rupees, 1 million rupees, 500,000 rupees and 1 million rupees. I mean, is that a deterrent? I mean, you're talking about hopefully hundreds of millions of dollars of transactions, and non-compliance carries a 500,000 rupee fine. Is that the same law that is going to apply to folks operating out at Port City? Is this the same law? Are the fines going to be the same? But the central bank is the authority that regulates, right? So for non-compliance, these banks are fined between half a million to 2 million. My question is, will those be the same fines applied in Port City as well? And if that is the case, is that enough a deterrent for people not to comply, or rather to comply?
On the license, right? There is nothing about fees and penalties, right?
Honorable Chair, may I explain?
Please.
Yeah, I'm Director FIU Central Bank. The penalties imposed, imposition of penalties you just referred to, the press releases.
Yes.
They are under the Financial Transactions Reporting Act number 6 of 2006.
Correct.
Imposed by the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Correct.
Not by the central bank per se.
Oh.
Even though we are one of the departments within the central bank, we are operationally independent and autonomous. So these are non-compliances with respect to anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism obligations as set out in the Financial Transactions Reporting Act. And this act is being, you are very correctly pointed out, these are very nominal, negligible amounts. But as it is, because this act has been FTRA, the Financial Transactions Reporting Act, it has been enacted in 2006, and the maximum penalty they have indicated there for a given case is 1 million rupees. So with that, actually, we have imposed the maximum penalties given the nature and gravity of the non-compliances, and also as another deterrent, we publish them. And it has a very considerable, substantial, reputational damage to these companies. So it is like naming and shaming. So it has more, even though the penalties are mere amounts, nominal amounts, this publishing of these imposition of penalties has a greater impact. Apart from that, all the three main enactments with respect to anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism are being amended. Once the FTRA, now we have received COC, it will come before the Cabinet of Ministers very soon, the three main enactments. Once the FTRA is amended, the maximum penalty will be 100 million rupees, and for repeated non-compliances, it could be double also, 200 million rupees. Thank you.
That's better than 1 million and 2 million. No? Okay. Is that it? The last one, tax exempt expenditure report. And now on this one, evaluation. Are you all evaluating currently the progress of these companies? I recall asking you a question about a travel agency that was being set up at the port city. And I asked you, why are you giving a license to operate a travel agency in port city? And you said, well, that is going to be a huge travel agency, right? Buying and selling selling holidays to people from out of Sri Lanka to go on holiday to other countries out of Sri Lanka. It has nothing to do with Sri Lanka. I just would like to know, what is the performance of that travel agency, or just for example? How do you monitor?
Chairman, the current regulations go through a annual evaluation process or reporting process, and that process has just started for the year ended December, and we believe in the next 2 months we would have that data to evaluate the performance, and there is a reporting format as per the regulations that all APs have to submit. Once we've collated those data, we would be in a position to share that with this committee, and that's also part of a report we are in the process of.
Yeah, Secretary, better seek that report from the port city in the next 2 months. Yes, the last slide.
Yeah, so the last slide is on tax expenditure reporting. So there are provisions in this, the amendment bill for the publication of tax expenditures. The revenue foregone related to the port city due to the granting of incentives. This will be published in the annual tax expenditure statement of the Minister of Finance. And also, lastly, the incentives that were published earlier via a Gazette notification, we have included a provision here to conduct an evidence-based review of these incentives every 5 years. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Tanuja, when it comes to these port city taxes, under the OECD pillar, they have this global minimum taxation that is there. So if you surplus, I think, 750,000 euro, then you basically give a right to the company that they are registered in to recall any taxes that are differential between this and that. So now what does the Port Commission in their selling, by selling for these multinationals, saying 15 years or 15% taxes, etc., 7.5% taxes, it doesn't get it anywhere because we are going to lose out what we can get to that country. How do you project this selling?
Yeah, right now we are not within this pillar 1, pillar 2. So anyway, what we have given under the regulation, those will be applicable, but again subject to the DTA.
Yeah, but we are now talking of approving Port Commissioner selling tool.
Yeah.
So when you're selling this, what are we? There's no point trying to sell something and get some other third country getting the benefit, no? So are we giving financial benefits? Are we giving certain infrastructure benefits that are there if we are going to capture this here in Sri Lanka?
Yes, so you correctly pointed out that no point of giving tax holidays, because within this pillar 1, pillar 2 rule, even if we are not going to tax them, they will pay tax on their country.
Yeah.
So that was the rationale behind removing the exemptions. So, but anyway, I think there was huge demand for these tax exemptions.
If we are going to remove this, what is the earthly point of any of them coming and investing here instead of something else? What's the difference? So now Dr. Harsha was talking on the basis of why come here on a sell factor.
So
what is the selling tool that are required to basically get Port City Colombo moving? You're not bothered about the others, no?
I think the DG, you will have to explain now. Remember, the thing is, the whole premise is, it's not only the tax.
Can we get it? I know what.
Yeah.
So
apart from the tax holidays, there are certain other requests as well.
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm asking. So what
termination of Workers' Employment Act and all certain other.
No, that is worked by the appeal court.
Yeah.
So Port City right now doesn't have anything that provide.
There's no unique selling proposition. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing at all.
So that is the first thing.
So because of that reason, it's actually a land filled of sand and nothing is being provided. So that is my honest opinion. Even this thing that about the employment law is also.
So how as a commissioner, you are before us, we want to see investments coming in. We are not want to see a law that comes into place just to have it in the enactment. How are we, what is your commission and your team telling us, okay, this is what is got to be solved? We asked you last time also.
So I think what you have to look at it is how Sri Lanka will develop as well as Colombo as a city. And we feel that we are very comfortable and we are placed, the port city is placed in a very strategic location to take advantage of India in terms of being in the right place at the right time. What I'm saying by that is 50% of the port city is going to be residential. At the moment, I mean, the first apartment tower has been given approval for, and that is going to be developed. And we are also looking at giving visas for international residents who want to come and live here on a long-term basis. If they,
but my question is not a port city to be residential inside. I'm looking at business. My question is related to business.
In terms of business,
No, let us see now. They had projected some 14 billion by way of real estate. Now, how much of it has come?
Yeah, so if I again go there, up to now we haven't had the landscape to go anywhere. I mean, the country has been bankrupt. So we are at the correct time now to promote the port city, and I think we are just about to start that process, and we have got 4 entities, infrastructure entities that have committed to Sri Lanka, I mean to the port city to develop it, and we are seeing more. We are also in the process of putting the RFPs for a hospital, a school, and a university, which will also happen in the next 3 months. And along with all that, we are comfortable that Colombo the port city will be a place. And also another part is we are not looking at the multinationals. It can be an entrepreneurial area with the kind of people that you get, the skill set you get here in terms of the IT industry. So, we have to give ourselves a chance, and I feel I'm fully confident that the Commission and the Port City will will do everything possible to make it happen. And this is just a start, because if you see, we are still drafting the landscape and the rules. So, we cannot talk about how much of billions are coming when we haven't even started.
On that note, I've asked the DG, we haven't still sent us you told us you all are getting a bunch of billions, but we wanted a time frame for that. Remember last time? You sent it?
No, Chairman, absolutely correct. So the minutes from the last Copf, Committee on Public Finance meeting was for us to actually engage with the Department of Statistics, right, and do the analysis and submit a progress report within 6 months.
Okay.
Notwithstanding that, we engaged with the Department of Statistics in December itself, and Mrs. Karnarat, the Director General, actually informed us on how, or she reconfirmed to us that all the work carried out within the port city thus far in the land reclamation has been correctly reflected, and she has agreed, she's appointed a person who we are hoping to meet with next week. And following that, notwithstanding the 6-month timeline, we are hopeful that by end of January or possibly even February, that report will be shared with the committee.
I like your positive thinking, Mr. Vikramasuriya. Thank you for that. Now, there's one thing that you didn't tell us. You added 3 more sections to 46. Nature of business. 2. Without prejudice to the provision of subsection 1, a person whom a license has been issued to carry on offshore banking under this part may accept savings, time and demand deposits from or lend to any authorized person or resident in any designated foreign currency, subject to prior written approval of the central bank. Is that material or not? That change? That you can accept savings from local people?
On which it was included in here, like if I go back under offshore banking, perhaps I didn't stress this enough,
yeah,
but it was included here. Foreign currency transactions with non-residents and approved residents, permitted activities. So, of course, we have not listed down the permitted activities here. We are not
authorized person or resident. What do you mean authorized? Who is an authorized resident? Is it authorized person and authorized resident? Or authorized person or resident? But as far as I know, there are only authorized persons, right? Who is a resident? Is a person who lives in Port City or who? Who is a resident? Non-resident and resident, what is the difference? Who is an approved resident?
Authorized person.
Yeah, so just tell us in lay language, who is a resident and who is a non-resident? Because this is something that is included in this revision, which was not there previously. No? 46 doesn't have subsection 2 in the original land. 46.
Honorable Chair, just to assist, in the original Port City Commission Act, definition is there.
Sorry? No, definition is there. What I'm saying is 46 only had 1. Now 46 has 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 3 new things that have been added. But something that is significant as I look at it is the ability to accept deposits from
even
approved
from
residents.
Yes. So even from residents outside the port city.
Who are they?
Anyone for that matter.
Like I can go and deposit in a Port City bank.
But it's all subject to conditions. The central bank has to give prior written approval.
I mean, why should a citizen get approval from the central bank to deposit money?
For the entity to accept deposits from a resident.
So how does it change? I mean, why would a Port City entity want to take deposits from just regular people on the, from Anuradhapura and Polonnaru and Ratnapura and wherever. Why would you do that? What is the logic?
There are some conditions given, so we will look at all those conditions and come up with a framework to facilitate that.
And also your section, the new section 3 is subject to such terms and conditions the central bank may consider necessary, borrow in any designated foreign country from banks licensed under the Banking Act. So which means banks that are going to be set up in the port city can borrow from local banks in any currency.
That's right. So banks can,
Any
local
foreign
banks,
currency.
already licensed under the Banking Act can also place funds in foreign banks outside the country. So in a similar manner, they could place their monies in the port city banks as well. But all that is subject to conditions and us coming up with a framework.
I think you all are not very clear, no, of what you want to do. Keep changing these regulations, take in deposits from locals, from, small town Sri Lanka. How does that help? I don't know. There seem to be complications here. I mean, any other discussions, further discussions on this?
Honorable Chair, got a explanation for your earlier question.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, regarding the conversions of Sri Lankan rupee into designated currency.
Yeah.
So got a clarification for that?
Yes, please.
So what I was told was that earlier the Act didn't specify, it didn't have any conditions because you cannot simply convert Sri Lankan rupees without an underlying transaction. So that is what has been brought in to say now to comply with the Foreign Exchange Act.
So there needs not be an underlying transaction.
There need to be an underlying transaction.
Oh, there
Earlier
need
it
to
was
be.
not specified.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a blanket.
Okay. All right. Anything else, members?
One last thing. I urge you that if you have time, put all these acts into AI and do a runner report, which I did, and putting all the acts and see how the economy is going to develop in Sri Lanka, and especially that for Port City, and comparison between Singapore, UAE, EIFS, and all the other countries. So according to that, corporate tax, we are very high. Personal tax, extremely weak in that sense for the people to come in. Incentives, clarity is there, but incentives are not there. Regulatory is improving, flexibility is very rigid, and then mega project appeal is the only one that we have, mega project, as construction projects. So once they're actually constructing something, who is going to go there and rent those places out is going to be a question in the future for you. So I don't think that if you use quite a lot of AI tools right now, you can actually simulate these models, you can actually get a lot of information out of this particular model. And before even Honorable Chairman was talking about, when you draft that particular, the original act, if you are going to have a special zone, if you want to have the FDIs, if you want the people, they need to have the confidence. But if every single 3 months you are going to change that whole FDI things and everything regulations are going to change, we are losing confidence. So I actually spoken to all the people who have actually invested in Port City, 500 million, billion, and all that, and they're saying that thank God that we escaped from the new regulations. So, we were going to bring our friends into it, but new regulations are not going to allow us to bring them. These are the conversations that I had with them, and I like even the finance ministries or decision makers or the parliamentarian or anybody, just discuss with them. I actually then they said that can we speak to some of them in the parliament, so can we speak to the president, and the people are spending $500, $600 million. And I said, I mean, you can't, I mean, just you need to, you know that if you're going to bring somebody to pay $1 billion or $1.5 billion, even finance ministry should be actually accommodating them and asking their views to say, why am I investing in this? I can have hypothetical ideas and I can change my regulation, I can change my taxation or every single thing. But my last word is, your $85 billion economy, to bring it up to $140 billion, this is not going to work if you look at the AI. So that is my own thing and all analysis which I have done. But I urge you that you have to stick into some original thing and stick that one for about 10 years if you want to have serious investors come here. Because the people have to come here, and then recently Manus is a company which has only 5 people. And they operated on 1 year and they sold it for $2 billion to these guys, Facebook, $2 billion. So in Port City, today we are not encouraging any of them to come here. We are not encouraging any tech entrepreneurs to come here. The economy today is all about AI economy. AI economy doesn't need people. They need only least amount of people. But they want some serious amount of people who can make value-added products. And none of them are actually entertaining in the Port City right now with these regulations. So that is all what I'm trying to say to you. But you as a government, I would think that you should be taking seriously and using AI tools, do the modeling, and do all these changes, not doing anything hypothetically.
So have you told that in your commission?
We told that in commission. I showed it.
So
Yeah.
can that commission say what are the selling rules?
So
that's the question I asked you, because having practical knowledge on this, I find that is going to be not only you, BOI, the same.
No, the
so
chairman.
At the end of the day, we need selling.
No, BOI chairman in his resignation,
Yes,
he
because
has made a public statement
Yeah.
saying with these IMF conditions, you see,
And
we
this is
are
what
just,
we have been saying in any case.
they are not going to go anywhere. So he's just throwing the towel and going away.
So end of the day, we'll be talking of the same thing even next year if we don't make that corrective action. So I suggest that your next meeting that you said will be held end of this month, in your commission, in your own diagnosis, send us your commission thinking as to what's the best unique selling proposition from a port city. We are not interested in selling houses. There are enough of them that can be done. We want the business, whether it's service-oriented or otherwise.
So, Honourable Member, there is a strategy, no, there's a commission, there's a
That's
port.
why we're asking the commission.
So, there's a commission and there's a management team, and they have agreed with Ministry of Finance. What's been agreed in this act is what they want.
Tell us different opinion here. We want that.
So that's the
commission
whole
report
premise
coming.
here, right? So they are confident of moving it forward. That's why the government has brought it in.
These the implementing tool.
Yeah.
So that's
So
why I'm asking
DG,
them.
can you explain to the committee that whether you guys are confident of driving this? You have been driving this for the last 3 to 4 months.
If I speak as a commission member, I think we are extremely confident.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Subasingha's view is that on the tax side, of course we all know our hands are tied on the tax side because of, where we are as a country. So it will all change over a period of time. So in that period, we need to, bring in whatever we can to keep the port city alive and kicking. And that's what we are doing. And I think it's happening. If you see the infrastructure projects that are coming and all the APs that have already come in, there's... Sorry?
Give us 5 names that you said last time.
5
We wanted, you said yes, we'll have 40 billion in X years. We said no, break it down into years as to how it's coming up. Can you name us 5?
Member, that is exactly what I alluded to earlier, that the Commission is in the process of preparing that report and will share an annual progress report.
Yeah.
But more to that, our position, as our chairman alluded to last time, since June last year, the Commission was in a position that we are not able to approve any businesses, right? And to be able to take this forward, right, we have been working very closely with the Ministry of Finance to come up with a framework that we believe will enable us to take this project forward. One such set of changes are with you all now. There continues to be further discussions being held, right? And as we evolve, we expect to see changes, and what we want is, hopefully, after this, should this bill get to Parliament and be approved, we most likely will be in a position to start approving businesses. So we've been on ice technically for the last 6 or 7 months, and as Commission Member Sanjay just alluded, the Commission and the team are pretty confident that if we get this framework operationalized, we should be able to see significant or see improvement and enhancement over the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, on that note, let's conclude. It's been a very productive discussion. There have been always, contra views, and we respect everybody's view. And we respect Dr. Subasingha's view also as one of the people who were originally involved in this. And I think it's good to have a dialogue. And, that's the only way we're going to, be able to come up with the best solution possible, because we are all rooting for Port City. We all want Port City to succeed. And we have been very tough over the years with Mr. Vikramasuriya. He knows that. But, from our hearts, we want this to work. Right? So that's all there is. The meeting is adjourned.